All right. How y'all doing? Hope you all are having a good weekend. That's all I could say. So, I don't know if you all heard the news, but leader of the NFAC is just proving more and more that he's not who he says he is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be making so many mistakes. Grandmaster Jay, leader of the NFAC militia that demonstrated in Louisville, arrested on federal charge. Louisville, Kentucky, the leader of Not Messing Around Coalition, a black militia that demonstrates in Louisville during last summer's social unrest, was arrested Thursday on federal charge. John Johnson, 57, commonly referred to as Grandmaster Jay, was charged with assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers or employees, according to court documents. Now, let's get into the what the news has to say.
Stay strong, Louisville.
This fight isn't over.
And we need you now more than ever. So stay strong for your friends.
For your family.
Stay strong for Louisville. For COVID-19 resources and more, visit StayStrongLouisville.com.
The leader of the NFAC, a black militia group that made its presence known in Louisville this summer, is now facing a federal charges. WDRB's Hayden Rostevsky explains what he's accused of doing here that landed him behind bars. Hayden?
Fallon, this man might look familiar to you. He's known as Grandmaster Jay, the leader of the NFAC militia group, but his real name is John Fitzgerald Johnson. Johnson and his group marched in Louisville twice this summer amid protests over the police killing of Breonna Taylor. The militia was last here on Derby weekend demonstrating outside of Churchill Downs, but Johnson's charges stem from the night before the Kentucky Derby. The FBI says these photos show Johnson pointing his AR platform rifle at several police officers on the roof of a building. Those officers were from the FBI, the U.S. Secret Service, and LMPD. This happened near Jefferson Square Park. Law enforcement officers were stationed on rooftops downtown most nights of the protests. Johnson is now facing a charge of assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers. The maximum sentence is up to 20 years in federal prison. Johnson is currently being held at the Oldham County Jail. And in a news release, U.S. Attorney Russell Coleman said Kentucky reveres First and Second Amendment freedoms, not foolishness, which puts police and protesters at risk. Hayden Rostevsky, WDRB News.
All right. I don't get it, man. I don't get how, you make these stupid errors. I don't get it. How do you make these dumb errors? Your group constantly, well, I'm not going to say constantly, but you have this group, there's no real structure because one of your, members shoots himself, okay, mishandles a gun. I don't know what to say. It's slowly the mask is coming off, and it just now is just fully off. Okay, this group, has to be just a prop. What are they being used for? Just to clown black folk, try to be used as a pawn to try to get a race war going. And I'm gonna say it right now. Blacks do not have the numbers for a race war with whites. They don't, because the black community is controlled by the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party has been encouraging black people to have abortions since Roe versus Wade. So you don't have the numbers for a race war. You don't. So you better pray that never happens, because blacks will get slaughtered. Okay, majority of black America is liberal, and they do not care about black lives. Okay, only the black lives that are murdered by a police officer. That's just the facts. That is just the facts. They don't care about the genocide that happens in a black woman's womb. They don't care about that. Johnson is accused of pointing a rifle at Louisville Metro police officers as well as federal officers on September 4th, the night before the 2020 Kentucky Derby. According to probable cause affidavit, the alleged incident took place just after 8:30 p.m. as officers were conducting surveillance over demonstrators at Jefferson Square in downtown Louisville. At that time, an LMPD radio station transmission went out notifying officers that a group of 6 to 8 heavily armed individuals were parked on Armory Place near a parking garage. According to documents, 2 federal officers and 3 LMPD officers then went to the top of a nearby Jefferson County grand jury building to watch the group. When the group got there and learned over the roof, 3 of them were blinded by a flashlight, the affidavit claims. The investigators say that flashlight was on the end of a rifle that Johnson was pointing at them. All of the officers identified the suspects as Grandmaster Jay, according to court documents. All officers advised they were concerned Johnson might intentionally or even accidentally discharge a round at them. The probable cause affidavit states all officers recognized that the distance between themselves and Johnson was well within the effective range of an AR platform-style rifle. 2 of the officers were wearing soft body armor, but were aware that soft body armor would not stop a rifle round, the affidavit states. Jessie Holliday, a spokeswoman of LMPD, met with Johnson and another member of the group about 30 seconds after the incident and later identified Johnson from surveillance video, according to the documents. Johnson was booked into the Oldham County Detention Center just before 1 p.m. Thursday, officials said if Johnson is convicted of his charges, he faces a maximum of 20 years in federal prison, according to a news release from United States Attorney Russell Coleman's office. Here in Kentucky, we revere our First and Second Amendment freedoms, not foolishness, which puts police and protesters at grave risk, Coleman said in a news release. Roughly 200 members of the NFAC were in Louisville on Derby Day during protests over the death of Breonna Taylor, a black woman who was shot and killed by white police officers on March 13th, raid of her apartment. These people look like actors. I'm sorry. And this dude made some really dumb errors. Okay? That's what he did. All right? And if he is, a pawn by the elite to further a race war, he may not do much time. He may get off. He may, because if he, gets the real time served, he will sing. He will start singing. Okay? And this is sad that you have blacks that will sell out for money just to destroy your own people. But this is the liberal-minded of black America. Okay? This is the ones that are for the Democratic Party. I see both sides are crap. All right? They're garbage. And the thing is, though, with the Democratic Party, what you have to understand about them, they feed off of those that you don't want to do much with your life. You don't care about what your actions could cause other people. As long as you're getting paid by the white man, as long as you're getting paid by the white man, you'll do whatever it takes to get that cash. Never mind if you're going to cause a race war, get your people slaughtered. You just want that cash. Sad world we live in. A very, very sad world. I mean, we lived in an era where we had civil rights leaders, where they actually fought for actual causes. But these days, you know, it just seems like, you know, you got to question them because most of them are just paid puppets. And dare I say, you could, you know, maybe look back in the 1960s. You can see there are some paid puppets back then too. All right. If you like the content, you know, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later. I'm also on Spreaker.com, SPREAKER.com. And you can check out my podcast there. All right, later.